Hi everyone, my name is Kat Ward and this is 12 and a half minutes, the Founders Series, brought to you by Elevator UK, one of Scotland's leading entrepreneurial and business support organisations. And in this afternoon session, we're going to be shining the spotlight on the creative industry sector. Now, creative industries aren't just important because of the social and cultural aspects, but they play a huge role in our economy. It's been estimated that the Scottish economy benefits by over £5 billion per annum thanks to the creative sector and the businesses that operate within that. So to tell us a little bit more about the type of support that businesses in that sector need, I'm delighted that we're being joined today by Jolene Guthrie of JAG Knitwear. Jolene.
Hi,
Jolene,
Kat.
how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
It's good to see you. We're almost matching. So Jolene, we're going to have a little chat in a few minutes, but it'd be great if you can tell us a little bit about you and about the story of your business to date.
Yeah, definitely. So hi everyone, I'm Jolene Guthrie and I am a knitwear designer from Dundee. I graduated from textile design from Duncan of Johnson Art College back in 2016. And I then went on to do my Masters at Heriot Watt University down in Galashiels. So on both courses, I learned so much and really built up my skills and decided really what I want to do in the future. On my Masters, I learned so much construction skills and how to put a collection of knitwear together. And then this really cemented what I wanted to go and do and work as a knitwear designer in the future and ultimately create my own knitwear brand. And on my Masters, I did so much research into the Scottish knitwear industry and found out that my great auntie Evelyn's husband's family owned Donbros Knitwear in Alumna in the 1960s. So having that family connection there really spurred me on as well. So after my Masters, I undertook some influential internships both up in Scotland, here in Dundee, and over in Fife, and then also I went down to London to work with a few different companies in knitwear and also just over a range of design aspects. So I learned so much on these internships and got to see different sides of the creative industry. So one of the companies I worked with was Sibling, who were showing at London Fashion Week, and so being able to create the garments that were actually going down the runway was great experience and really showed you how you got the design process from initial idea to the final collection. Then when I was back up in Dundee, I interned with Hayley Scanlon and worked in her shop, so great seeing that retail side of things, and also interned over at Tom Pigeon. So again, working with a small studio and seeing the full process, it's really great to see. So after this, I landed my first full-time position as a knitwear designer down in Peterborough, which was just outside London. And I worked for a knitwear supplier down there for a year. This was working with a lot of high street accounts, and they also owned a factory out in Romania. So I was able to go out to the factory and see the production process and how my designs back in the UK were then made out there. So again, great experience, and I just learned so much and felt that I could use that knowledge to come back and create my own knitwear brand. So I moved back up here and have just continued to try and learn as much as I can and put it into practice.
So yeah, I mean, you've got an amazing design pedigree and background. It's just fascinating. But you were one of the participants on our Creative Accelerator Programme. So obviously the design expertise and the knowledge that you got working with those companies was incredible. But what motivated you to apply for the Creative Accelerator Programme with all that knowledge behind you?
I think it was because although I had great design background, I really knew I had to build on my business skills. And if I did want to make this work as a career, I really needed to know everything about business that I could. So speaking to another creative jewellery designer, she had just completed the Creative Accelerator course and couldn't recommend it highly enough. And so I applied, and we had to do a business pitch on the first interview, and that was like a huge thing to me, even just doing the application. So I think just doing little steps like that, you learn so much about yourself too. And then the accelerator, just each week, like all the subjects you cover, you just broaden your knowledge so much. So yeah, it's so beneficial.
And was pitching and presentation, was that something that you by the end of it, maybe I wouldn't say felt comfortable with, but actually felt that you had the skills and abilities to handle?
Yeah, definitely. At the start, I was so nervous, and especially speaking in front of a group of other creatives as well. Yeah, it's really quite nerve-wracking. But when we were in these situations weekly, you just start to get used to it. And my speaking in front of people, I just grew in confidence, and you kind of have to tell yourself, no, you can do it. So yeah, no, it really pushes you to develop those skills.
So what's your opinion on the perception that creatives aren't necessarily the most business minded? What do you think of that statement? Because some people maybe think that.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you go to, like, I've been to the Business Gateway before, and I think, when you're saying this, I'm from a creative background, then people maybe don't think you have as much business skills, but it goes hand in hand. If you want to run a business and you have a product that you're designing yourself, you need to know how you cost it, market it, and how you work with your suppliers, everything like that. So yeah, I think it's, although we have that creative side to creating the product, we're going to learn how to make the business work as well. So yeah.
So you talk a lot about we, and I know from conversations we've had before that community and collaboration is a really big part of being on the Creative Accelerator Programme. Can you tell us a wee bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that's where my business has kind of flourished, being able to meet like-minded people, or people of the skills that are going to complement my business. And through the course, I've met so many people that are inspiring, but then also are willing to collaborate. And I think that's such a special thing, especially Scotland, but especially in Dundee. Everyone wants to help each other, and I think by collaborating, everyone is going to develop further. So just for example, on one of the calls that we had during lockdown, which was a great thing to keep us going, I discovered one of my new manufacturers that I was looking to create my new collection of socks. So it's just amazing how you can make these connections and really grow the business from there. So yeah, it's just such a great network to be in.
And he was an alumni from our Murray Accelerator Programme, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
and you're just about to launch those new products, those new socks now, aren't you?
Yep, I have all the stock sitting behind me, and the photo shoot is going ahead this week, and then I hope to get them on the site at the weekend. So I will be putting lots of things out on social media for everyone to see. Can't wait.
That's fantastic. That's brilliant. So where do you get your inspiration from then, Jolene, for your work?
So on my masters, as I said before, I did a lot of research into the Scottish knitwear industry, and through having that personal connection, I also looked at the manufacturing side that the Scottish knitwear industry is so famous for, and I was really interested in how the machines work and how they create the knitwear. And so I took inspiration from there and traditional Scottish patterns, and I really developed from that. So the body of work that I had from my masters was quite creative pieces, but then I've looked to develop on from there and to create more wearable commercial garments that are still high quality. They really have a bit of an edge, but they relate back to the Scottish knitwear industry as well. So, for instance, I've got this new check jumper that just wait to actually put on the website tonight for pre-order, but it's been developed from one of the check jumpers that I did previously. So it's having that subtle connection back to the Scottish knitwear industry, but it's got a story through the design.
And how do you take something that, is a concept, like the concept that you came up with originally, and turn that into something that's a commercial garment? What's the process that you go through to do that?
I think so. I mean, I'm coming up with new designs like daily. I'll think of something like, oh, I love that, I would wear that. But it's trying to think of my customer and what they want, and what they want to wear and how they want to feel when they're wearing it. So I think you can start with these amazing creative ideas, and as long as you can put it into a wearable garment, then I think I've noticed a lot just now with the rise of social media, and a lot more creative designs are coming back, and these standout pieces people are loving just now. There's a great trend for that hand knitted homemade look, and people really starting to appreciate that traditional method of production. So yeah, I really want to celebrate that.
Brilliant. And you're a role model now for a lot of new designers that are coming through. I believe you've got your first intern as well as part of the business.
Yeah, I've been doing some work with Cara. She's a student just now, so it's great to kind of give back and work with someone like that. We have some calls over lockdown. We were having some calls, and then I've met her for a coffee, and it's great just to be able to bounce ideas off each other and get her input on things. And yeah, so hopefully she'll be helping with the photo shoot on Wednesday too. So yeah.
And what's in the future then for you, Jolene? What are your future plans? I believe that a rebrand is about to take place pretty soon.
Yeah. So I've just done a video in the last couple of days online just discussing why we are rebranding. And so to relate it back to when I was on the Creative Accelerator course, I spoke with one of the IP specialists. So on the course, you get to meet so many great people and influential people, and have that access to their knowledge. So I found out that JAG was unfortunately trademarked, and this is something I've never thought about before, but I've taken my time to rethink what I wanted to change the name to, and my new name, JoAmi, it just felt right. I managed to get the branding looking really similar to JAG, and it's something that I'm really comfortable and happy pursuing in the future, and I want the brand to go in that way. So on Sunday at 7 p.m, everything will change over on the website from JAG Knitwear to JoAmi, and we're going to just keep building the brand from there.
That's so exciting. And we're coming up to near the end of the session now. There might be some people that are watching that are thinking about applying for the Creative Accelerator Programme, but maybe thinking this isn't really for me. What would you say to them?
Oh, 100% go for it. I can almost feel myself getting a bit emotional thinking about it, because it's honestly been the course that's pushed me to do everything that I have done in the past 6 months. So it gives you the confidence to really believe in yourself. It gives you the business skills, and it also just really builds your connections and network around you. So please just go for it.
Brilliant. Well, Jolene, as ever, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. All the best for the rebrand. We'll all be watching Instagram and all your other social media platforms on Sunday. And here's to the new sock collaboration with Stephen and Murray. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Jolene. Fantastic inspirational story from Jolene Guthrie. What an amazing business, and carrying on that legacy of some of the great Scottish knitwear to the world. So thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in finding out more about our series of Accelerator programmes, which kicks off in September, then please go to our website where you find all the details. Coming up next week, we have Neil Gordon and Dr. Andrew Jaffrey from Sentinel Subsea. who are alumni of our Grey Matters programme. And they will be interviewed by Andy Campbell, who's back in the interviewer seat next week. But in the meantime, have a fantastic weekend and be brave.